and assembling this like they're assembling fire, they'll be bringing the heat.
And they're gonna do just that. And our first map has been decided by the random number generating gods. It's going to be Krakoa this time. We got Burn and T'Challa 2 times. And now we head into the funky portals of Krakoa.
The funky portals of Krakoa, indeed. I mean, once again, looking at Assemble Fire, the ones that we've seen play in the past, it's gonna be the likes of Mafia subbed out. So Mafia typically runs that solo Vanguard, but not gonna be there. I'm looking at 0-1, wants to make a name once again for themselves on a duelist. We've seen them wreck on Iron Fist, on Spider-Man as well, so would be interesting to see what kind of picks and bans we move into here against ONSIDE Gaming.
Yep, so far strategists have been the main focus throughout this entire day 1 so far.
Yeah.
And I believe that was the adjustment coming in for most of these teams after watching what happened in the mid-season finals. I know there are some teams prioritizing strategist bans, some teams prioritizing Vanguard bans. Here in the Asia region, there was a lot of focus, a lot of emphasis on those Vanguards, but now it's going to be all in on these strategists.
Yeah, I feel like the mid-season finals kind of tweaked a circuit in our heads and say, hey, we see the sustain that comes out from a lot of these. I think we even got a Jeff ban at some point in time, which is ridiculous. I mean, we got that before we got GTA 6. So like, it's amazing that we saw a Jeff ban, but once again, it's a full stack of strategist bans. Towards the tail end, we're starting to see a bit more of a deviation from that with the lock-in of
that hover.
the torch on Assemble Fire's side. You know, once again, wanting to bring the fire, and ONSIDE Gaming hovering the Captain America.
Yep, ONSIDE Gaming. They know how strong this Captain America is. We didn't see it at all in the last match against OEG and Rocky University. Both teams banning it out every single time. And now Assemble Fire. What do they take away from the pool of ONSIDE Gaming? Looking like a torch could be the Psylocke, and it will be the Psylocke. The Psylocke still being very strong. Hasn't gotten nerfed yet.
Pick your hero.
Because
or villain.
we're still on
judging.
that 3.5 patch.
We are. I'm thinking, how much did Rebirth play the Psylocke in the past? It might have been a targeted ban against Rebirth, actually, when they were playing on Crazy Raccoons. But unfortunately, my memory kind of fails as we kind of see the hovers at the moment. 0-1, perhaps taking on this Groot. It's interesting, once again, you know, it's four strategist bans against Assemble Fire, 3 for the side of ONSIDE Gaming. I mean, it's all about the sustain right now. You know, nothing about, hey, I can... At this level, it's nothing about, hey, I can click hits faster than you, because I feel like at this level, everybody can. It's all about the sustain and the healing sustainment.
Yeah, it's sustain, it's the tactics, it's the timing as well. And we also touched up during the last match, resource management being another factor coming in, especially here on the professional stage. You're under the assumption that everyone can land their shots. So if everyone can land their shots, how else are you going to get the edge above your opponent? It's through everything else. All the other fundamentals, all the other mechanics within the game have to be perfected in order to get that edge, in order to get the upper hand. It might be small, but it could play a big factor.
Yeah, even like pushing out a Jeff bubble from the get-go, which is what Xenos did right off the tail end to maybe give themselves a bit of a speed boost onto this waterfall side. Kingdom just wanted to clear these corners, make sure they're not enveloped, but ONSIDE Gaming really kind of wrap them around like a burrito. Onto the side we go, leading the charge. Will be 0-1, trying to tank and take all this damage, leading the strategist up in the rafters as a defensive hold.
Ooh, nice little position coming in from Assemble Fire. I like the high ground with the Invisible Woman shield just to prevent any sort of dive. A great angle for the strategist to keep the team alive, and Assemble Fire looking to do just that as they take early control.
Indeed, Kiss Me More are running that Dark Cloud Deviant as well, taking that backline apart, which is important. You don't often see this pick, but we've seen it twice already in today's matchups.
Yeah, Portal coming in. Yeah, like you said, gives me more on the magic. We already saw this in the first match against Crazy Raccoon versus Incipients. And Assemble Fire look to use the magic. Will pilot this melee hero that we weren't able to see a whole lot in stage 1, but now we're seeing a little bit of light in stage 2 as WDY finds an early pick onto Kingdom. It's gonna allow the rest of Assemble Fire. No, it's gonna be onside. Going to be taking over despite these Fate of Both Worlds being used by Bainey on Assemble Fire. Assemble Fire still keeping control, but how much longer will they have it as a dump comes in onto Bainey as the Galactic Legend also going to clean things up, and onside will retake.
Retake indeed. Bainey popped that Fate of Both Worlds at the last second just to be able to buy themselves a bit of time, knowing that, you know, it's unlikely it's gonna land in them holding on to the site for a bit longer, but it does force out the Galactic Legends, which is a huge tick-for-tat ultimate trade, so that's really important.
Very, very important. Onside to close the gap as the Freedom Charge from Onside will be initiated to keep everyone from Assemble Fire at bay as the Invisible Domain, Invisible Boundary going to be used as well, but Inya just being that disruptive force as Kingdom takes to the skies, stays up in the air, but that site still needs to be taken as Onside still take control still, even with the Eternal Bond used by Dawn.
I mean, they're pressing the issue. They know they have map control with their Eternal Bond, and they just want to do something light, staggering here. Teeny right at that possible second. Can't get away with their life, and that just means additional points on this point. Percentage points climbing, matching, surpassing Assemble Fire. Now, they've got their Dark Child plus their Supernova Online, two powerful duelist ultimates that could kick things off. And if Dire, they also have a building Fate of Both Worlds to sustain their lives a little bit longer.
Yeah, this is going to be a difficult role for Onside. Fate of Both Worlds coming online right about now. Kingdom and Kisbymore having their duelist ultimates available as well, like you said. 0-1 and Xenos also has theirs as well, and WDY looking to go to Galactic Legends. Tuba threatens the Meteor. All eyes on this Magneto to see if he's able to get the dunk off, or does he save it? He's going to go for it. Will he charge it up in time? Takes the shot. Doesn't quite land the mark. A great bubble coming in from Behemoth to keep that Luna Snow alive as Assemble Fire. The retake looks good for them, but overtime will begin.
The Inhurk still has the Freedom Charge. I wonder if you want to use it to just delay a little bit longer. Time's a ticking, but yeah, we'll convert, at least for the side of Assemble Fire, saving that Freedom Charge for another fight, hopefully in seconds soon, as they reassemble themselves. They've got the that Invisible Boundary online sooner than later, which is why Behemoth, they want to push out a little bit further than that. They want to make it more expensive, maybe even asking for the Invisible Boundary to be consumed earlier just to be able to get on site. That might be the biggest win for Assemble Fire, but Onside Gaming know this tactic to want to reassemble. Look at both these duelists around this corner.
Go! The fight starts with the Assemble call out from Inhyuk, but Kisbymore finds a pick onto Dawn. Behemoth will pop the Meteor M. Can he land the shot from downtown? A three-pointer for Behemoth onto WDY. As Assemble Fire look for the retake, look for the hold actually, as the overtime meter starts off yet again. A dunk coming in from Abe himself. Will find a double. And Onside Gaming clapped back just like that. This overtime meter needs to go down. Xenos will switch to Strange, and that's going to be all eyes on him. Can Assemble Fire retake, or does the overtime meter go down? It's going to be the latter going down first. Assemble Fire cannot retake, cannot hold in time, and Onside take round one.
It was a clean wipe at 99%, and just, you know, seconds pass, everyone on the side of Assemble Fire anxious for Xenos to switch on to the Strange and hopefully get a portal of desperation enough onto that side. Nay, milliseconds denied. And that point going to Onside Gaming, looking like they were never offside in the first place.
Wait,
The actual
Nino switched
Magneto.
over to the
Wow.
Doctor Strange to try to get a desperation teleport
No,
down.
but you should know
If
Magnet's
the
attack
moment you
doesn't
press
work
the
on
button
super
on the
cold
portal,
materials.
it goes
Guess
on
what I can do?
cooldown. That is something worth mentioning. So Assemble Fire are not going to have the portal available to them.
The battle starts in
And that
5,
At least
might,
for
4,
at least for the
3,
first half
2,
of the second round.
1.
So that may be
All you need to do is capture the mission
a deciding
area.
factor
Got it?
here. But we have yet to see.
That
that is the case.
Indeed. Not much changes so far from the side of Assemble Fire. 0-1 does have still holding on to the group because that Strangling Prison is still online. It might make quick work and maybe, you know, be able to get some early picks on this side. Kingdom God's just running around.
Oh, the Strangling Prison!
Fine, Strangling Prison does find the mark, but holy, it's the Meteor M plus the Meteor M! We'll find it onto Xenos, coupled with the aim from AIM as well. Now Dark Child is out and about. The demon from within trying to make a nuisance of themselves. Demon with the ultra jump, but the aim is so good.
Assemble Fire use so many ultimates here. They're dumping everything that they can to try to stay onto the site, try to take control. Assemble Fire, they really need to take control, but ONSIDE will take it for themselves instead.
Beautiful stuff at the moment. It's the tick for tat, and right now they're coming in hot. Building that percentage, looking at the ultimate economy. You know, Assemble Fire wants to drag it as much as possible, but Kingdom will start things off with their own Galactic Legends. That the healing bubble is touched too much to sustain. Can't find the value, but Behemoth on his side will shut down the Phoenix. Now gaining more power within the second is the ONSIDE gaming. Tuba's trying to make a nuisance, but will get punished for it. And now Behemoth trying to hold down and knock out this Captain America who's just diving like nobody's business.
Oh my gosh, and he stays alive too. Inhyuk just goes in, just buys so much time, and only now does Assemble Fire take control of the site.
It's a hard-fought battle at the very least. You know, ONSIDE Gaming making
God,
it
he's still
very
alive.
tough for them. Yeah, Inhyuk just able to sustain. I
No
can
way.
go all day, but now looking at longest corner of the shield. It's a back and forth.
Yeah.
Holy, just picking up the health pack as well. Kingdom God has to avert eyes back to the main group of it all. And now it's gonna be the Strangling Prison plus the Dark Child. Holy, not even the fate of both worlds can sustain.
How does Inhyuk get away with that? He can't keep getting away with this. As Assemble Fire, they do take control. ONSIDE need to regroup for just a few more seconds. They will soon enough be able to take control. Inhyuk, I think, is still very, very displaced from the team. Actually, probably has gotten the health pack just now to try to keep himself afloat. But WDY will kick things off with the Galactic Legend. Sign-out seduction will be used in response on Assemble Fire, so will the fate of both worlds. ONSIDE, they don't have any ultimates to work with besides Tuba on this Meteor M. And that's going to be a focus point for Tuba. All eyes are on him to see if he's able to land a Meteor aim. Getting his Phoenix time ready very, very soon. And here we go. The Meteor going to be charged up. Kingdom is on the site. But it's Kiss Me More and Kingdom getting taken away to the sidelines. As Tuba finds a double, making a triple. And ONSIDE clean up the rest.
I'm here thinking, hey, when's Tuba gonna unleash the Meteor M? I'm so anxious for them, but hey, patience is key. And when you look for the right moment, you get the 1vx dunk onto multiple members. Now WDY just being the early recon scout for the rest of Assemble Fire. They do once again, they're still building that ultimate, wanting to be a hassle in the back line.
Oh, Strangling Prison. Great timing from Inhyuk with the Freedom Charge to deny any sort of follow-up coming in from 0-1's Strangling Prison, and AIM right in melee range takes it down, shreds down 0-1. And Assemble Fire get picked off as the rest of them will get staggered.
Now is the time. You know, 0-1 is hopping back on that Doctor Strange. It might be a bit of a portal play. One side gaming, they feel it, they sense it. Tuba is waiting for the portal to unleash. It is going to be here, right now, as they make a last-ditch effort to contest this site.
They're surrounded right now. Assemble Fire are getting surrounded from all fronts right now. Just This is looking really, really bad. And as I say that, AIM confirms my suspicions as he picks up a triple. And ONSIDE are looking so damn good right now as they take over map number 1.
Map number 1, well under their belt. I mean, it looked a little dicey here and there, but they were playing solid Marvel Rivals through and through. I mean, yeah, chat kind of called out some of the names that they may have heard from other games as well. And that's obviously playing very heavily into ONSIDE's gaming strategy.
What a play, what a map so far from ONSIDE. Assemble Fire, props to them as well for putting up a really good fight, but in the end, it was just ONSIDE with the response, with the clapback, just being too much for Assemble Fire to handle.
Indeed. I mean, look at these stats, right? It's In-hyuk. Not a lot of, final hits or damage, but being an absolute nuisance in the background is...
Oh my god.
Is so good. Like, it's unrated to say how deserving In-hyuk is as the backline kind of disruptor. You just need to stay alive, and it's precisely what we saw as they danced around Kingdom like they were on a ballet court. And of course, where would we if we didn't call out Duba as well?
Yeah, Duba being the key deciding factor, getting key Meteor M value throughout all those fights. And I wanna go back to In-hyuk. That is a 0 on eliminated.
Oh wow.
That is a 0. How often do you see a 0 at the highest level of Marvel Rivals on In-hyuk, where I still genuinely don't know how he did not go down there?
You're right. I don't know how I missed that. That is ridiculous as well. And obviously, having been participating in 19 KOs as well, I mean, they're disrupting the backline, but they're still applying pressure to the front line, the back line, the mid. I mean, all levels as well. And at the moment, it just seemed like Assemble Fire are struggling to garner a bit of a response. A bit of a mistime in terms of Xenox flipping onto the Doctor Strange, couldn't get back on site for point number 1, and like you called it, those cooldowns are triggered, and they did do that last ditch effort right at the tail end, but it was, like I said, a little bit too little too late.
What a map for ONSIDE. A commanding win over Assemble Fire, who, as a reminder, did get a direct invite here back into stage number 2 ONSIDE, coming in from the open qualifiers. And then I guess there is in a sense where ONSIDE might have the upper hand in terms of how much synergy, how much team coordination they have, especially when you come from the open qualifiers, where it's a very, very grueling, grindy process to get into stage 2. So with all those matches under their belt and Assemble Fire not having to do any of that, is this rust that we're seeing out of Assemble Fire, or is it just ONSIDE just absolutely locked in right now?
I think it might be a little bit of both. Like, you have to remember that Assemble Fire, they've changed out a few players. They've dropped out Chewbacca and Slow Soldier, folks that we've seen in stage 1, and brought in a bit of a new cast, likes of Kiss Me More, Beanie, Behemoth. These are 3 names that are new to the roster. That's half the team, so maybe a little bit more synergy is required. I'm also thinking about Kiss Me More pick, right? Just hovering over that magic, that Dark Child. It did a little bit of favor on map 1, able to chase around In-hyuk's Captain America, forcing them off angles. But I wasn't sure if that was sustained through and through, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's exactly what they do. Yeah, like you said, it very well could be a mix of both, where Assemble Fire, they're still getting used to the ropes, they're still trying to figure out the synergy. There's a chance that they're figuring out the synergy, but for now, they do need to go back to the drawing board, figure out what they want to do for map 2. They do have priority in terms of map selection and side selection, so we'll see what Assemble Fire opt to go for.
Indeed, it's either going to be a convoy or a convergence map. As per the rule set, we've gone through domination, so it's going to be one or the other. And, hopefully as Fire will be able to clutch one more under their belt. And if we go to a third map, it'll be the final game mode for the picking for, the losing team, which at that point would be ONSIDE Gaming. But hey, the future is the future. All we can do as casters is predict. But hey, we'll just have to wait for the actual game to start. Server is about loading in 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Marvel Rivals action.
Trapping all those fighting souls, but yet across the world I see you standing in my way. And remember the time, the place we used to fight, like the sun and moon. And I wonder if ever there was a time that we were friends. The night has fallen, shadows looming, and yes, that time has come for me to seek you out. We are set now for our last reunion. Break the chains, find your way, come find me. Do stopping all those fighting souls, but yet across the world I see you standing in my way. And remember the time, the place we used to fight, like the sun and moon. And I wonder if ever there was a time that we were friends. The night has fallen, shadows looming, and yes, that time has come for me to seek you out. We are set now for our last reunion. Break the chains, find your way, come find me. Do you remember who you
Welcome back, gamers and grass touchers, to what is potentially the last map for today's day one here in the Marvel Rivals Ignite Series Asia broadcast between ONSIDE Gaming versus Assemble Fire. ONSIDE Gaming putting up a very good show on that map number 1.
Yeah, great showing coming in from map 1, like you said. Assemble Fire did also put up a really, really good fight. I believe both maps nearly going into overtime, as Assemble Fire, they did take some time, went back to the drawing board, and they will choose their second map and side for this best of 3 series.
Indeed, and it's ONSIDE Gaming's to lose out. You know, they've got the wind under their sails, they're fire in their eyes, ice in their veins. And Assemble Fire need to do exactly their namesake, assemble a little fire in them. I felt like, you know, there were some parts it was a little lackluster. They sometimes couldn't even get out the door with some of the movements and the ultimates being prepped for them. So you have to stay ahead of the game, thinking about, okay, ultimate wise, what does your opponent have? And lo and behold, we do have our maps right in front of us for number 2.
Yep, right below us, you see it right there, Yggdrasil being the choice yet again, a popular choice for many of these teams. And ONSIDE will be on the defense. Assemble Fire do choose to attack first. And something worth mentioning, ONSIDE, they're on the defensive side. And they also made a player substitution. They took out AIM, they're putting in SGB, which is a duelist going out, and another Vanguard player going in. That makes it 3 Vanguard players on the side of ONSIDE Gaming. And that is a big question mark. Do they run triple Vanguard? They just give it away for us off the get-go? Or is ONSIDE cooking up something spicier?
Yeah, a little callback to what we saw in Crazy Raccoons and Spider Islands. I mean, triple Vanguard is not that uncommon nowadays. We've even seen triple Vanguards and triple Strats in stage 1 a couple of times as well. And what I'm surprised was the sub out from AIM. I mean, AIM was doing so well actually during that first map. I'm looking at the stats at the moment. 15 total elims, 13 final hits. I mean, these are numbers to be extremely proud of, but this might be the big head 5-hit chess move from the side of ONSIDE Gaming. If for each map that they're envisioning plays, they do substitutes to play it to their advantage.
And we'll see if our suspicions are going to come out on top, because right now we are assuming that ONSIDE will run a triple Vanguard composition. And yeah, again, props to AIM, right? He was absolutely torching people on the Phoenix, and quite literally torching people with the ultimate as well, getting several multi-man knockouts with that ultimate. You don't see that very often here at the highest level, and he was able to get away with it twice in map number 1.
It's likely also going to throw a wrench into Assemble Fire's kind of picks and bans. Like, perhaps they were looking at that Phoenix to ban out. Okay, now AIM's out of the question. Now we have a new person, right? SGB coming into play. What do we deal with that? How do we deal with that? These are all questions that, you know, we're about to find out as once again we go. The standard 3 for 3 here. Loki's, Mantis, and Luna's sweeping across the statements here for the first half of picks and bans.
Yep, band for band, pick for pick, band for band, as both teams are looking very, very similar. Both sides taking away the Mantis, but then again, it looks like Assemble Fire will take Luna for themselves. ONSIDE will respond with securing the Loki. We talked about this in past matches where Loki is just so much better in these convoy maps where you just have so much more surface area to work with.
Indeed. And Assemblifiers has gone ahead to ban Captain America. No surprise, right? Inhyuk has been an absolute thorn on their side for the entire domination match. So hey, have to get rid of that, have to work that out of the system, as well as possibly a Human Torch, which is a very common ban nowadays. You know, we cannot stop singing praises as to this fella's ability to shift and adapt to different types of compositional pressures. And so taking that off the board should be able to allow Assemblifier to breathe just a little easier.
Might make that thorn. That thorn definitely was made out of vibranium. That I know Inhyuk in map number 1 did not go down a single time. So that thorn will finally be shut down, and Assemblifier secured that thorn for themselves.
Okay. That would be very interesting, right? In the past, we might have seen another player rock the Captain America, but on this particular 6-stack for Assemblifier, I'm curious to see who would be running the Captain America. You know, maybe Behemoth, maybe 0-1. I'll have to see as they kind of start locking things in. But on the flip side, OnSIDE Gaming locking in the Loki as well as the C&D for themselves and batting out another Human Torch.
Yeah, both sides taking away the Human Torch. Deny a little bit of that verticality that we haven't really seen here in stage 2. That was a very common composition where you would run the Torch, you would run the Iron Man, you would also run the Ultron as well.
Yep.
To just take to the skies. We just call it that Flyers comp. But now it looks like not a whole lot of verticality in terms of composition coming in this time around.
You know what would be wild, Dan? Because, you know, for in the tournament, Season 4 will come out next week for the Asia broadcast of the tournament. Angela's going to be on board. Then we can get a true Flyers Cup. All these players are hiding their cards. They're sandbagging us, I swear.
That definitely could be the case. They are definitely holding back, waiting for Season 4 to drop next week. Keep in mind, as a reminder, we are still on 3.5. So everything that you saw in the patch notes have not taken effect just yet. As we do kick things off with OnSIDE on the defensive side, Assemblifier on the offensive. And do we see a triple Vanguard on OnSIDE? Yes, we do. SGB on the Mag, Tuba on the Amafrost, Inhyuk on the Groot. Our suspicions were in the turret.
No duelist either. Triple strategist as well. The Lamb coming out to maybe provide a little bit more support, a little bit more stopping power against Assemblifier who are trying to bring the heat. Oh, Tuba doing everything together with Inhyuk on the Groot, just isolating fights after fight. Drop after drop, elimination after elimination. Behemoth doing their best on the Captain America to do some side flanks, but it's gonna be just sending them back into spawn as quickly as they came out.
Yeah, SGB looking like he's all warmed up. He spent the entirety of map 1 just waiting in the wings, waiting for his time to shine, and he does just that with a great pick coming out.
I mean, who needs duelists? At this point in time, they're pressing the issue all the way to the door, all the way to the moment of invulnerability, even catching Kingdom out of place. This triple Vanguard, triple strategist composition is so much.
Oh my god, the wombo combo!
Huge wombo combo with the Hand of Khonshu, but didn't quite find the mark with enough sustain from one side.
I'm ready to put on a show.
No, Tuba on another pick on the 0-1. That was a great strangling prison on the side of Assemblifier, but then again, that's everything dumped into the kitchen sink on Xenos right in front of the barrier. And it's all, so far, 2 minutes down. It's looking like we've seen this movie before.
It's crazy the way that OnSIDE Gaming are able to just defend against multiple fronts, right? You see Assemblifier try to kind of divide and conquer despite, you know, there being no duelists, but the thing is the team OnSIDE Gaming are a solid rock and a half here against this fight.
Oh my gosh, and they are not stopping Tuba. Again, another pick onto 0-1. Freebird finding another one as well. The adaptation coming in from Assemble Fire, trying to get that Strangling Prison Hana Khonshu wombo combo. They tried it before. They already tried it, but it was immediately denied by ONSIDE.
I mean, it's already online once again. Kitsumore just hovering around that Hana Khonshu, wanting to see if the moon can come out, but once again, the isolation gonna be forcing out this Loki as well. Coming in with the... It's a soul bonded, trying to push the issue all the way back into the spot. Like it's not stopping whatsoever. It's gonna be the freedom choice now coming out. The whole thing's back on.
Oh, there it is.
I think it absolutely is. The moon does indeed haunt them.
And the moon haunts
No worries.
ONSIDE Gaming. Second time is the charm. And it looks like Assemble Fire finally, after 3 whole minutes, will start moving that point.
I'm opening a portal.
Waiting for the portal. They have the chance to play it. They have the chance to even push it into an overtime. Look how far this card has made it. They want to induce a stall immediately onto this card.
Yeah, putting the portal right in front of the point like that does indeed stop the point from moving any further. But now Kingdom coming in with the Omega Hurricane. Is it well timed? The answer is yes, as Rebirth will go down before the Eternal Bond even takes fruition, as Kingdom is trying to do his best to find the hurt, find the damage, find any sort of advantage. But ONSIDE looks to hold again, but the Strangling Prison on Assemble Fire is just absolutely perfect.
Third time is indeed the charm. The second one was pretty good, but that one did a clean 4KO against ONSIDE Gaming. They have to sit on this side. I wonder if ONSIDE Gaming income on the Venom, maybe wanting to touch, but it doesn't look like it. So this first point and first leg will be granted. No, at the last possible second, the Loki clone onto the side. Rebirth immediately dealt with. Now the walls are coming out as the rest of ONSIDE Gaming pour onto this card.
ONSIDE doing what they can. They don't want this first point going into their side. The Eye of Nakamoto is going to get stun up, Baity, and will get taken down in response. And ONSIDE slowly but surely creeping their way in. Rebirth on the jet, trying to get to the team as soon as possible, but Kitsumore has other plans as well, using the portal to just keep the team together, keep the team going, keep this train from stopping. And it looks like Assemble Fire will do just that. They torch ONSIDE and they will take the first point.
Rebirth as it is. I mean, ONSIDE Gaming really tried their best to deny that final moment. The beautiful Loki clone onto the cart, and the rest of them pouring in like the members that they are. But hey, it's just a bit too much to handle, as now we move into the second leg. Inhyuk already with this piece of the abyss, wanting to eat good tonight amongst the players of Assemble Fire.
It's a matter of timing it perfectly. If ONSIDE is able to find some sort of AoE burst damage down, the beast will go so crazy. But Kingdom will go crazy first before ONSIDE even have a chance to prepare. And Onslaught is immediately shut down. Inhyuk goes down, and Assemble Fire will keep this ship going. Full sails down, 20 knots ahead.
Did you see that?
Yeah, and back to the meteor, the Magneto, which is the strat, which is the composition they basically work with. That right now. Oh, the moon does punch you once again. It's gonna be the high corner coming in strong. The ultimate as well. I have on the
Whoa! Multi-man stun coming in on Assemble Fire, and they're gonna get wiped out. 2 members going down already. And they're going to get staggered even more.
Only 60
Great
seconds
response right now from ONSIDE Gaming. Looks like a movie that we've seen so often being stalled in leg 2. As Assemble Fire, you know, they set Behemoth on a bit of a flank around this corner. But look at the amount of strategists that ONSIDE have, right? The Loki clones able to do so much long range work, and has to be handled by Behemoth in his backside. Don's ready for it too.
On WDY going onto the Star Wars. Here comes the silent seduction right onto the choke point. It's a runway of eliminations. A feed of blue for onside as they're able to just wipe clean of what is left of Assemble Fire. There is a member of Assemble Fire just out there on the flank position. Oh, there he is. He's gonna appear, but okay, goodbye.
Yeah, trying to stop this. Trying to stop this teleport. Doesn't able to kind of work it out. I think that's SGB actually, the offensive or defensive teleport portals coming out just to deny and confuse the likes of the attackers at the final moments. Was the final nail in the coffin. Middle of the second leg is all they got.
Yeah, you saw that before, 1.5. We saw that in the last match, and this match, no different. And now, Assemble Fire looking to go for the defensive side. I believe it is on the defensive side for Assemble Fire this time around. I think there's a visual error. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now it's correct. Onside, now on the offensive. Assemble Fire on the defense. And what does Assemble Fire cook up? It looks like it's going to be a 3-0-3 formation for Assemble Fire, doing what Onside did off the rip as well.
Actually, the Iron Man's in play.
Oh!
So Kiss Me More. That'll be
as soon as I say that.
A good one, actually, to be able to just dance around a lot of these high ground pillars and apply pressure. That's a common strat and composition that we've actually seen in the past, right? Where people take to the skies with an Ultron, but with Ultron banned out, you'll have to resort to other things like Dawn onto the Storm, Kiss Me More on the Iron Man to make it work.
You know, how fast can Onside make it to a point? And I guess point and 3/4, I guess, as just getting early control. Duba having some fun on the blade, fires a few left clicks, and may switch away. Doesn't seem like he's done it just yet. No, he's just going back to the heel. It looks like they will commit to the blade. Blade making its competitive debut here in stage 2 of Ignite. Great to see.
I love it.
We'll see how much value they get out of this as they already cleared the hill.
They do indeed. So much pressure being made from Inhyuk as the main front of the onside gaming, while the rest of the team members here, Duba as well as the DY taking space. It's gonna be Kingdom already tick for tat trade, but twofer for Inhyuk. Just pressing the issue. Dawn on the back line as the aggressive CND. Cloak and Dagger, beautiful with it. Trying to stall out is gonna be this final nuisance, but Kingdom can only do so much.
How did Dawn get the Eternal Bond so fast? That was crazy. Before anyone even used their ultimates, it was just Dawn, the sole member with an ultimate available, and it was just able to just keep that momentum in onside favor as now the rest of the players have their ultimate. And Kiss Me More is one of them. We'll find value with 2.
I am ready to put on a show.
Now forcing out the Fate of Wolf Wolf just outside the ring. Wolf Fall Kingdom, unfortunately, now the strangling prison. It's all collapsed. Beautifully done onto Inhyuk as well as Duba. These two names are painful, at least for the side of Assemble Fire, is able to hold back the offense just a little bit longer and stagger up this first leg.
Yeah, great response coming in from Assemble Fire with the double elimination with the Iron Man ultimate, then followed up with the Strangling Prison from 0-1. And Duba also got the ultimate down, provided the anti-heal to try to get some members of Assemble Fire down, but in the end it just wasn't enough, and Duba will switch back to the Emma Frost as the Karmic Revival. Did it go off? I think it did. I'm not really sure. Yeah, I don't think it did. Yeah, WDY now can just go absolutely crazy with the Galactic Legend. Kingdom was so close to keeping this fight going, but in the end, it is all onside. They are going to get first point, and they are one step closer to making this a 2-0 series.
The mischief of a good Loki rebirth. Invisible. No, Kingdom had no clue that the God of Mischief was just around the corner and popped the Karmic Revival at an inopportune time, just denied that resurrection. Now, pressing issue is ONSIDE Gaming. Don's already got that Eternal Bond, and once again, wanting to take Holy Spirit off at the back line, pressing these strategists out of action with some solid growth
I think that's
play.
enough. That might be enough. I'm not sure if a Assemble Fire have a Desperation Teleport available. Behemoth still has it available, but it looks like they're able to touch. Maybe they are able to, but how long are they going to hold? It's not going to be for long. ONSIDE, take the map, take the series over. Assemble Fire.
ONSIDE Gaming, just playing good old gaming, good old Marvel Rivals. The coordination is spectacular. The comms are immaculate. And honestly, like running that triple Vanguard, triple strategist composition is so powerful. We've seen other games run it. It comes to haunt us here in Marvel Rivals Ignite again.
Yeah, the triple Vanguard, triple strategist. We've seen it in other matches. We see it in this match. And it just worked out so well. It took Assemble Fire so long. It wasted so much time. It got to a point where Assemble Fire had to go all the way down into their playbook and whip out the Strangling Prison Hand to Kanshu wombo combo that we see time and time again. You probably see it in your own matches, and it's pretty strong in there. And if it gets to that point, it's just like, this needs to work or else it's just over. But thankfully, Assemble Fire did provide a bit of resistance there. Gets to the point, gets to 3/4 of the point, but ONSIDE were just able to match that.
Yeah, tick for tat. And I gotta talk about the last minute denial of Kingdom's Karmic Revival, right? It's Rebirth, having the wisdom of it all, right? Being from an award-winning team like Crazy Raccoons in the past, was able to just kind of think about, okay, whose ultimate is starting to cycle online right now, who will be hiding around the corner. It's gonna be none other than Adam Warlock, and the God of Mischief does exactly that. Be Mischievous comes out from the shadows and does a nice little backstab onto our Adam Warlock.
Yeah, great awareness from the side. Honestly, from ONSIDE as a whole, there was a lot of members just trying their best to shut down Kingdom's ultimate, and they were able to do so just barely. I wasn't entirely sure if the Karmic Revival went off or not, because the entire sphere of revival thingy almost went off, but in the end, just barely, ONSIDE were able to comfortably take over in this second map.
Yeah, as we take a look at these highlights, do cast your memories back to, the first half of the map where, honestly, what a solid hold in this front portion right before the corner as well. It's just ONSIDE Gaming playing around with the walls from Brood and some great counters against the opponents. Captain America trying to divide and split the team, but they held firm together. They played ping pong with the strategists, healing each other when necessary. And good use of utility just meant that they were able to bleed out so much time against the likes of Assemble Fire.
Yeah, and there were moments of brilliance on the side of Assemble Fire. There were some good ultimate values coming out from them, but unfortunately, it was just not. They were just not able to translate it into a win. And ONSIDE, they're feeling good, coming in, guns blazing in this first match for a quick and easy 1-0 in the group stage.
Indeed. I mean, you've got to feel pretty good if you're ONSIDE Gaming. Namesake itself, the name of the team itself is new to the Marvel Rivals Ignite Asia scene for stage 2. But the names themselves, some players, some people in chat definitely recognize them as long-staying kind of shooters. And therefore, it's a huge sigh of relief, likely, that they have cemented themselves already with 1 point in Group A against none other than Assemble Fire as well, who have been, so solid thus far in Stage 1, but unfortunately could not put up the numbers here.
Yeah, but still, Assemble Fire, they do look really strong. Don't get me wrong. They were able to stay a toe-to-toe with ONSIDE, but there is still work to do. But then again, there is a lot of time. This is only day 1, and we have a lot more matches coming up ahead.
Yeah, indeed. And I think it's good for the coaches to take their time to kind of look back and think about how better they could have worked around their magic. Yeah, I'm looking at OnSite Gaming. I mean, none of the stats necessarily screamed at me to say, hey, there was a very big hero player amongst the 6 stack. They were all kind of equally doing their part, be it, Vanguard, Duelist, or Strategist. And I think that is the beauty of a well-oiled machine. It is signs that, they've been through the ditches and come out as a humming train, humming along. Everybody knows their parts. They know exactly where to look at and who to focus. And their comms must be immaculate in whatever voice channel they're in.
Yeah, that is great to see, honestly. Like, we do love a good star player performance here and there, but the scariest statistic is when everyone's numbers are very, very similar to each other. That just means that there's 6-star players all doing star player things. So that is probably the scariest thing when going up against some of these teams, and OnSide may very well be one of them.
Yeah, I mean, if this wasn't it, I don't know what other signs there would be. This is definitely a sign of a star-studded team. And Zemmelfire, I mean, they have a bit of work to do over the next few days to try and get these points back up, to remain themselves, in the top 4 of Group A. It's not over just yet until it's definitely over, and this ain't it so far. So, kudos, consolation prizes for Zemmelfire, and we'll take that L with a nice clean 2-0, but hey, good job for OnSite Gaming. Whatever prep you've done so far in the past, as well as the sub out from AIM onto SGB. Holy, that Doctor Strange doing great work as a Vanguard main here for OnSite Gaming.
This is before the Doctor Strange buff. We're still on 3.5. The buff still hasn't kicked in for the Doctor Strange just yet. So already doing this much damage, it might be a lot more when we move into next week. But for now, we're still on 3.5.
Yeah. And I think in terms of okay, how do we counter a triple Vanguard, triple strategist composition? I mean, it's so hard. I thought that Zemmelfire had an inkling to think about it, coming out with that the combo wombo between the Hand of Khonshu plus the Strangling Prison is one of them. They also tried to run a bit of a dive comp to harass the back line, which honestly could have been a great opportunity. Granted that Zemmelfire was so close to their spawn, it didn't really matter if their front line perished as early in the team fights, as long as the back line was able to harass the opponent's back line enough. I think there was value in thinking about doing that because of the way a triple strategist, triple Vanguard is set up, right? Not a lot of aggression. Yeah, you might say a Groot is probably the most FPS of them all, but hey, ultimately they're all Vanguards and they're all strategists, and you gotta squeeze that advantage for yourself.
Yeah, and I guess in that kind of scenario, good Blade would have been good, especially with that anti-heal with the ultimate. So
yeah,
there may be more ways to work around these strategist Vanguard compositions that we have been seeing starting to leak into these convoy convergence maps. And yeah, maybe we see more Blade action. And
indeed,
yeah, Tuba showed the potential that this Blade could have, but unfortunately was forced to sub out,
Yeah, it was a short-lived debut for Blade. I mean, that 1000-fold slash might be very interesting to see. We didn't unfortunately get to build enough ultimate percentage points towards seeing that pop off, but I mean, you're right, with a grouped up kind of composition like a triple strat, triple Vanguard, six stack. That might be the key here. There's a lot to have to do with, but execution is obviously the final hurdle. You know, Assemble Fire did try the combo wombo with the Hana Khonshu plus the Strangling Prison. It took them the third try to really nail down a multi-kill effort, a multi-wipeout effort from that perspective. The first one was a total flunk because of the lamps and the sustain coming from the strategist. So once again, we have all these ideas. Casters can talk so much. Ultimately, it still comes down to the execution.
Yep, execution, timing is key. Just knowing when certain abilities could be online, could not be online. And it's just that sense. That's really where it all comes down to. Like you said, the game sense, where you have an idea of maybe this ultimate could be online on the opposing side. Maybe the time is now. Maybe we should just try to go for it. Or maybe you know that they have it and you know they're going to use it and you have ways to respond to it. So there's a little bit of that back and forth, the push and pull, tug of war kind of thing where it's just kind of mind games in a way.
Yeah.
Where you know it's coming. Do you combat it head on or do you just let them do their thing and then wait for your turn?
I mean, I think that's precisely the point. On the domination match, I think there was one time where effectively one team gave up the site, the point completely for free because they knew that if they just waited a little bit, they will have the ultimates. I think it was the Eternal Bond that would be the start of the retake onto the site. And so that team effort is obviously, like you call it, very important to say the least. And from this perspective, ONSIDE Gaming, you know, able to clutch up. Once again, I'm looking at the stats for Assemble Fire. Got some hero plays, trying to come out. Kiss Me More, 26, knockouts, 10 final hits to their name. Really trying to carry the rest of their team on their back as one of the new players here for Assemble Fire. But unfortunately, there's only so much you can do when it's a six stack on both sides, and it is a team effort.
Yeah, team effort indeed. Kiss Me More. Did get some good Iron Man ultimates off, especially a double elimination through that portal. That was a pretty cool play. We've seen it before in other matches, but here, still just as cool. And soon enough, I think we are heading towards the wrap up here for day one. A lot of good matches. Unfortunately, we could have hoped for a map 3, but this is also Marvel Rivals. It took us a while here in the Asia region to get to a third map. Last time, call back to stage 1.
Yeah, just like stage 1. I think it took us into a few days into the group stages for stage 1 for us to get to the third map. It might be, these teams taking a little time to warm up, trying to figure out how best to play against top level teams such as the ones here in stage 2. Scrims can only do so much because the quality of the scrims doesn't necessarily always reflect the quality of the games here in the Ignite series. But hopefully by tomorrow we'll get ourselves a bit of a best of 3 going the full distance map 3 action. And also we're bound to see it eventually because as time goes by, once we get into our top 8 and then whittling down through the group stages, it's just going to get harder and harder. The enemies are going to get tougher and tougher, and you just have to dig deeper into your strat book to find some interesting and unique ways to play.
And keep in mind, this is still patch of season 3.5.
Yeah.
4.0 will shake things up, and like you said, that playbook needs to start getting deeper as you think ahead to future matches that will be on that different patch.
Yeah, indeed. For the rest of us folks, us regular players, non-professionals, we will be getting Season 4 on the 12th of September together with the new hero Angela, new Asgardian frontliner, that is Angela, plus that new skin that we will be showing later on at the end of the stream. But it'll be very exciting for us to try that all out. Unfortunately, for the tournament's integrity, we'll only be getting that a little bit next week. But you're right, a change up in that meta mid kind of group stage is kind of wild. We got some nerfs, some boosts as well for some of the heroes, some new team ups and some teams gone in season 4, and that'll be very interesting. What a shakeup for next week.
Yeah, it kind of feels like, like in the Hunger Games, right? You got these teams in the arena, and then you just have these little organizers just doing a little bit of we're gonna make this a little stronger, we're gonna make that a little weaker, we're just gonna just change the entire arena, just turn it on its head, and then just have fun, good luck, have fun adapting, and then they're gonna try to do their best to adapt and just go from there.
Now the real question is, how fast do you think we will see Angela, the new Vanguard, being run next week? Because there's not a lot of time for these players to prep for. It might be interesting to see them doing an insta ban onto Angela, because like it's a Vanguard that they don't want to have to deal with. They don't want to have to study strats to try and counter it and try and find its weak spots and try and build a composition or to counter. I mean, that might be an interesting possibility, or teams that just don't care. They're just gonna embrace the chaos. They're gonna take on Angela on their mantle and run with it. I think we could go either way.
Yeah, there's also that would be a cool consideration to go for, but I feel like the safer play is just having it not available. I feel like that might be the direction that the tournament will go, where Angela will not be available for play throughout the entirety of Stage 2, and maybe they will have to hold off until the grand final, which will happen at the end of Stage 2. But for now, we did gain some intel from the higher-ups that Rebirth will be joining us for an interview from ONSIDE Gaming, but we will have yet to see when that interview will start. For now, we are just patiently waiting for Rebirth to join us, as we do have a bit of questions that we are...
Of course. That's wild. Rebirth themselves joining us here on the caster desk for a bit of peeling back the curtain, seeing how these pro players tick. I'd like to remind everyone that Rebirth was a player from Crazy Raccoons from Stage 1, now supporting ONSIDE Gaming as not a Vanguard or Duelist, as they have normally been seen playing for Crazy Raccoons, but rather rocking that strategist, right? We've already seen them for the past 2 maps pull up with Luna Snow, as well as as a Loki. Yeah, that Loki at that final portion to deny Kingdom's karmic revival. I mean, that is experience talking, and I'm so excited to be able to, do an interview with Rebirth. So hey chat, if there are any questions you want us to ask, please put it into chat. We'll see if we can get to you as well.
Yeah, and that experience from Rebirth, right? Just bringing that experience into a team that came through the open qualifiers is essentially Rebirth just starting over from scratch, right? Just joining a team that want to look for an Ignite berth, and just providing that experience is just something great to see, as it helps not only Rebirth as sort of like a team leader, but also the morale that, with this experience under our belt, we can make it to Stage 2. And we are getting confirmation that Rebirth will be joining us very, very soon.
I think might be pulling Rebirth in just about now, I think. But it's interesting you say that, because I think we have Rebirth on the call with us, just to make sure that you're there. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I can speak.
Hi, yes, Rebirth. Welcome to the stream, and we do hear you loud and clear. How are you feeling after that 2-0 sweep against Assemble Fire?
Sorry. Just very good. Very good.
That is great to hear, and you also have experience playing on Crazy Raccoon back in Stage 1. How have you been helping the team in terms of getting ready for these high-level matches?
sorry, can you one more? Yeah.
So, yeah, all good, no worries. Yeah. How have you been helping your team to get ready for these matches?
Maybe 1 weeks or 1 weeks maybe.
1 week. That's not a lot of prep time, but it looks like you really have done a great job in assembling on-site gaming. Looking at your group, Rebirth, how confident are you of getting into playoffs?
Oh, sorry, I can't understand.
Sorry. I'll say again, right? I'll say again. Group
Yeah.
A, right? 6 teams. Playoffs.
Yeah.
Do you feel
Yeah,
you feel excited?
yeah,
You feel like you
yeah,
can?
yeah, yeah.
There it is. There's the confidence we need. We love that.
And
And,
I think we'll, Dan, I think we'll end here with giving Rebirth a chance. You want to thank anyone right now that you are here on stream?
Group A, our group team, another team.
Yep, Group A, indeed. You are definitely feeling confident here, moving into the playoffs.
Maybe. Maybe so. XOXO.
Ah,
Oh, okay.
I like it.
Okay.
Okay. So it sounds like, there's confirmation that at least Rebirth are excited to go against XOXO here within this Group A. I'm excited to see that matchup. That's going to be coming pretty late down at the end of this week on Sunday at least. So once again, thank you so much, Rebirth, and congratulations on your win against Assemble Fire. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that was some insight coming in from Rebirth. Obviously, there was a little bit of a language barrier, but we did our best to get an inside look at what ONSIDE Gaming have been doing to get that 2-0 victory. And they will be sitting comfortably with a 1-0 win in the group stage.
Indeed. I mean, that puts us right up with Crazy Raccoons, which is, amazing start to say the least here in Group A. To come in just guns a-blazing, ice in your veins, to shut down Assemble Fire, leave them, not the biggest of point difference, but at least one is better than nothing. At least here on day one. This will be the shortest stream we have today because it's going to be jam-packed for the rest of the week.
Yeah, from here on out, we've got